Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to do a job recap. Today was a construction cleanup. Construction cleanup is anytime I have to work with a blade, and what we did today was remove adhesive residue from film that was on the windows. Now, this is a gym that had just opened up in my area, and the way that I got the job was through Google My Business. I got a Google message the day before this job. I messaged him back and let him know that I had an availability at around noon. I went by, took a look at it, cleaned one window for free just to see how long it would take to get done, and then I quoted him a price afterwards, which he agreed to. And as you guys can see right there, that's all the adhesive. One thing that I'm big on is keeping a clean job site or a clean job area. And what I'm doing right now is flipping my blade. Whenever you guys are working with blades, it's really important to keep a new blade and know exactly what you're doing. As you guys can see right here, I put a drop cloth below the windows that I was cleaning. I put booties on my feet because I'm working on this padding at this gym, and as you guys can see, I'm containing all the debris to take it outside and shake it out. This is the finished product, and as we move forward through the job, I'm going to go ahead and let you guys know how much I made, how long it took, and more than anything, I want to show you guys how I got it done. So as I said at the beginning of this video, I did one window for free, mainly because I wanted to see how long it was going to take. And with everything, it's important to have a process. So what I'm doing right now is scoring the window so that I can have pretty much a launch point, I guess you can call it, to begin removing this adhesive. After I'm scraping the window every time, I'm taking off this residue or the adhesive part, which is like a glue. It's pretty nasty stuff. I have my gloves on, and I had to switch out my blade plenty of times. Whenever you're working with the blade, guys, it's really, really important to know what you're doing and work safely with it. One thing whenever you're working with blades is to not nick the edges or the corners of your blade. Otherwise, it kind of bends in and it doesn't create a flat surface. That's why you can kind of see me keep it at a slight angle. And as I'm moving along this job, one thing to notice is corners and edges, guys. Whenever you work with me on a job or on a video that I'm breaking down, one of the things that I always train everybody who works with me is corners and edges. Pay attention to the details, make sure that your corners and edges are clean, and more than anything, don't rush through a job, and always have a process or a system to make sure that you're getting the job done efficiently. So as we move along this job, this was pretty grimy stuff. I'm glad that the actual film wasn't on the glass. He had already removed the film from the glass, and he finally called it quits whenever he tried to remove this adhesive stuff. And whenever you have the right equipment, guys, it goes a lot faster than somebody that doesn't know what they're doing or somebody with less experience. As a professional window cleaner, guys, it's really important to have a lot of experience. As you guys can see, what I'm doing right here is taking care of this edge. I'm knocking back off all the adhesive, and then I'm moving to the other half of the window. So I took care of one half of the window and started working on this half of the window. One thing that is important to do whenever you're cleaning glass is break it down and have a system. So as I said earlier, I had to flip my blade several times. I use a Triumph scraper. That's a window cleaning scraper, and you always have to test the glass to know what you're working with. Otherwise, if you're working with tempered glass, what you might come across is scratching the glass, so you have to know how to test the glass. And if it is tempered and they want anything removed that's only going to come off with the blade, let them know. Say, hey, this glass is tempered, and the only way that it's going to come off is if the glass gets scratched. I've never had to do that, but always explain to your customer what you're having to do. So what I just did right there was flip the blade. Whenever you're working with a razor or the type of blade that I'm working with, a professional window cleaning scraper, you have pretty much four sides of it. I know that there's two blade sides, but one thing that I don't think a lot of window cleaners know is you can flip the blade to use the same side as the razor. I don't know if I'm making any sense while I'm saying that. To have a finer or a more sharper blade. I might have to make a video just on that to explain that better, because I'm probably not coming in clear with that. But pretty much you have 4 uses of your blade if you don't nick the edges of it. And as you guys can see right here, I just flipped my blade and I'm taking off the rest of the residue on the glass, and I'm working very safely with this, guys. One thing that can happen, and it's happened to me whenever I first started cleaning glass, is the blade can pop out of your hand whenever it hits a corner or an edge. And I have cut myself a couple times, and that was several years ago. I think everybody that's cleaning windows, and if you work with the blade long enough, it's going to happen. So I'm trying to help you guys out. Whenever you're working with the blade, be extra careful, especially whenever you're working around the edges, because that's where your blade can catch on the edge and just flip out of your hand. So always maintain a good grip and just respect the blade and know what you're doing. So as you guys can see, I'm working on the corners and edges, detailing this window. And what I wanted to do is show you guys exactly how I clean one window, so that you guys, if you guys are ever coming across this, know how to deal with it. So after I scrape the entire glass surface, one thing that I'm big on is just doing extra stuff to make sure that the glass is coming out as clean as possible. So what I'm doing right now is buffing out the glass. I've got a 4/0 grade buff pad, where that's pound and 4 zeros, which is super fine steel wool. I'm running this across the whole glass surface just to get off any residue or anything that might be on the glass. And it might be overboard for some, but to me, I just like to offer a superior service or a superior product, and I don't mind taking a little bit more time to do it right. I do charge, for what I do. That's the reason why I took the time to do one window for free. And after he saw the finished product, they always go with it. They see your professionalism. They see that you know what you're doing. And what I'm doing right now is wiping down the edges. I'm going over them pretty thoroughly, because what I'm trying to do is catch that adhesive, any adhesive that might have got caught behind the seal. And to finish up this window, all we have to do is squeegee the solution off, and the window is perfectly clean after this, because I took care of the outside first, so that whenever I'm taking care of the inside, I'm not distracted by anything that might be on the outside of the window. So as you guys can see, that cup is full of that adhesive. I mean, that's pretty much just a big old cup of blah, I guess would be the only way to describe it. It's just pretty nasty stuff. It's glue that's been stuck on the window for years. And as you guys can see, that's a before shot, and this one was the last window that I worked on, and I wanted to get a close-up shot of it for you guys. Whenever you're doing anything like this, don't be afraid to ask the customer if you could just try to take care of one area for free, and tell them, I want to see how long it's going to take, and they typically have no problem with you doing that. So this is a finished product, and just to do a quick job recap, this took 3.5 hours to do. The payout was $500, and I did get a Google review from this one. Google reviews help my business a lot. And while I was at the job, I got a call for an estimate. I won the estimate. I went out and bid it in person. Got $750 for the windows, plus she had a lot of mirrors and a chandelier that she wanted to include. So thanks for watching, guys. Comment, like, and subscribe.